Why checking our work matters. Have you ever baked a cake? You follow a recipe, right? You measure the flour, you add just the right amount of sugar, you set the oven to the perfect temperature. But what if you baked that same cake every single week for a year? You'd probably want to check in now and then to make sure it's still coming out delicious. Maybe one week it's a little dry, or another week it's not as sweet. You'd look back at your notes, check your ingredients, make sure your oven is still working correctly. This simple act of checking your work is all about quality. It's about making sure that what you create is consistent, reliable, and just plain good, every single time. In the world of science and medicine, this idea of checking our work is incredibly important. Think about it. We're not just baking cakes, we're making medicines that people rely on to stay healthy, to fight off sickness, and sometimes to save their lives. That's a huge responsibility. So, just like our master baker, pharmaceutical companies check their recipes and ovens to ensure every single pill, every single drop of liquid medicine. So, what exactly is this big yearly checkup for medicine? It's called an Annual Product Quality Review, APQR. Think of it as a comprehensive school yearbook for a single medicine. Not photos of students, instead data, charts, summaries. All about the medicine's performance over 12 months. It gathers information from every stage of the medicine-making journey. Raw materials at the factory door, mid-production on the line, final packaged pills ready for pharmacies. A deep, detailed look at the product's life story for that year. The main idea? Check if the manufacturing process is consistent, in a state of control. Imagine a robot that makes sandwiches. You program it to put exactly one slice of cheese on each sandwich. The APQR is like checking the robot's log for the whole year. Did it always use one slice? Did it ever use two? Did it ever use zero? Were there days the cheese arm got stuck? The APQR answers those questions for a medicine, batch after batch. This isn't a quick glance, it's formal, documented, and required by regulators like the FDA, and by similar agencies around the world. The APQR is one of their key rules. It's all about safety and trust. Every person who takes a medicine trusts that it will work as intended and be safe. You might be thinking, this APQR thing sounds like a lot of paperwork. Is it really that important? The answer is a resounding yes. The most important reason for doing an APQR is patient safety. Every person who takes a medicine trusts that it will work and be safe. By reviewing data from the past year, a company can ensure no slow, creeping changes have occurred in their process. For example, what if a piece of machinery was wearing out ever so slightly, causing a tiny, almost unnoticeable change in pill hardness? The APQR would spot that trend and flag it for repair before it's a real problem. It would prompt maintenance before a failure spreads. For the company, the APQR is also a powerful business tool. It helps them understand processes and identify improvement opportunities. Maybe one step causes frequent minor delays. The APQR can spot that. Fixing it saves time and money, and prevents costly recalls that damage reputation and the bottom line. When inspectors visit, they often ask to see annual product quality reviews. A well-written APQR shows diligence and responsibility. It demonstrates active self-assessment and builds trust. This transparency helps keep the license to produce life-saving medicines, and protects public safety and company continuity. So, how do you actually cook up one of these APQRs? It's like assembling a very complex, very important puzzle. The first step is data collection. This is a huge task. Gather all relevant information for the product, include batch records, detailed logbooks for every batch. It's like getting the chef's notes for every cake baked that year. Collect data from all quality control tests, raw materials in process and finished product tests. Tests on the raw materials. Tests during manufacturing. Once data is centralized, analyze it for trends. Quality experts use statistical tools and graphs to look for patterns. They might plot potency over time for every batch. Ideally, the graph is a flat, stable line. If it trends downward, even within limits, that's a signal to investigate. Review changes made during the year. Equipment upgrades, supplier swaps, etc. Did a new mixer arrive in June? Check post-change data. Review complaints and reports of side effects. Look at deviations and out-of-specification results. Compile data, analyses, changes, deviations, and conclusions into a formal report. Include interpretation and a conclusion, in control or out of control. If issues are found, include CAPA recommendations, corrective and preventive actions. This final signed report is the APQR, the product's official report card for the year. Alright, let's dive into other key ingredients that make an APQR robust. One crucial element is the review of starting materials. Review test results from all suppliers, including the API. Compare suppliers. Supplier A, higher purity. Supplier B, lower purity. Stability testing is vital. Companies keep samples and test them at intervals. 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, to ensure safety up to expiration. The APQR summarizes this stability data. Validation proves the process works reliably. APQR checks it remains validated. Is the process still within acceptance criteria? Think of it like a car that passed its initial safety inspection. The APQR checks brakes, tires, engine. Annual review checks the small things that keep everything safe. APQR also reviews regulatory commitments, promised studies or data submissions. Check status. Completed? On schedule? Show regulators you are keeping promises. Starting materials, stability, validation, and regulatory commitments, these make the APQR holistic. Together, they form a complete assessment of quality and compliance. Start with materials, check stability, confirm validation, and verify commitments. The APQR ties it all together. Creating an APQR isn't a one-person job. It takes a whole team of experts, each with a special role. Quality assurance usually leads the process. The coaches and referees of manufacturing. Their job, ensure rules are followed and final product meets standards. QA coordinates the APQR, gather data, write the report, ensure approval. They work with analysts to compile data and conclusions. Quality control provides the raw testing data and expert analysis. They help decide if an anomalous result is a fluke or a trend. Manufacturing provides practical hands-on information about campaigns, breakdowns, and difficulty. They know the process inside and out. Engineering provides maintenance and calibration data. Regulatory affairs provides updates on rules and commitments. Supply chain contributes supplier info and shipping data. They help explain supply variations that could affect quality. The APQR is a cross-functional effort that unifies expertise into a single picture of product quality. A single, unified picture of the product's quality. This collaboration is what makes the APQR effective. Next, what happens when quality reviews get tricky? Even with a dream team, creating an APQR has challenges. One big hurdle, managing massive amounts of data. When a product is made hundreds of times a year, there are thousands of data points to sift through. Data can be in different systems, or on paper. Centralized data systems make pulling APQR data far easier. Automated capture from lab and manufacturing reduces manual effort. Another risk is analysis paralysis. Too much data, and no focus. Decide beforehand which key quality attributes to prioritize. For a pill, critical attributes might be weight, hardness, and dissolution time. Focus on those metrics to avoid getting bogged down in noise. Time is often the biggest constraint. Everyone has day jobs. Strong project management and clear timelines help. Short, regular check-ins keep work moving. Spread the work over weeks, not crammed into days. When APQR finds a negative trend, it can be tempting to downplay it. Don't. Investigate thoroughly and propose strong CAPAs. Implement fixes and preventive measures to show regulators your system works. Turning a negative finding into a positive improvement is a sign of a mature quality culture. It's not perfection, it's commitment to getting better. If you're new to the industry, APQR can seem intimidating. All the data, regulations, and jargon, it's a lot at first. Start with a past APQR for a simple product. Don't try to understand every number, focus on the story. Read the introduction and final conclusion first. What was the overall verdict on the product that year? Talk to the QA person who wrote the report. Ask for a 15-minute walkthrough. Most experts are happy to explain key takeaways. Ask, what were the 3 most important things you learned from this review? Or, what does this chart tell you? Get a guided tour. Connect data to the real machine. A tour helps you see where the numbers come from. When you see tablet hardness data, picture a pill, how much force to break it, too soft, crumbles in the bottle, too hard, may not dissolve properly. Hear experts explain charts in plain words. It makes reports accessible. Connect numbers to physical properties. You aren't expected to know everything. Start by helping gather data or format tables. Be curious. Ask questions. Observe experts. You'll learn a lot simply by listening. So, why pour so much effort into APQRs? It all comes back to the promise we talked about: safety, quality, trust. The APQR is one of the most powerful ways a company keeps that promise. It protects safety and ensures quality for families and patients. APQR is formal, scientific, and incredibly thorough. It's a once-a-year mirror. Are we doing the best we can? And how can we do even better? Small adjustments keep medicine within safe, effective limits. a slight downward trend in potency, a small impurity increase or minor timing shift, APQR finds these whispers early. Teams can then make small fixes to stay well within limits. Over years, APQRs become a history book for a product. If an issue appears years later, you can look back for similar events. This process makes operations smarter, more resilient, and more reliable. Science is learning from evidence. APQR exemplifies that. APQR is a silent guardian of public health. Most people never see it, but it works behind the scenes. Detailed reports protect the medicines you use every day. They are a testament to the dedication of scientists, engineers, and quality professionals. Rigorous discipline and constant self-assessment allow confidence in medicines. That confidence keeps our families and communities healthy, and that is a wonderful thing.